Hey, Mark the Guitar Guy here. We're going to be doing Steal My Kisses and a few of the nuanced chord progressions and stuff that's going on here, the things that I'm doing right now. So you can add that to the cool stuff we're doing. And if you're watching this on Wednesday, welcome back, you very good students, you. Right, let's get into it. So, the chords we are a G, C, and D. So the nuanced versions of these, I'm going to show you the cool little riffs that are happening, and they're basically happening within the intro. So instead of just a G, I sometimes do a G7. So G7, all I'm doing is lifting my little finger off. So the notes are 3, 5, 3, 4, 3, 3 in tab form. And sometimes I even add my little finger on the second string on the, what is that, 6th fret. To the 6th fret, which is just another 7th note to make the 7th chord really 7th-y. That sort of thing, so it sounds cool. With that strumming pattern, which we just learned from a few days ago. And hopefully having fun with that strumming pattern. I love that pattern, it's super cool. Simple as that. So that's the G chord. C chord. So we've got a C chord, but what I'm doing is basically what I call a Hendrix thing. And I've got Jimi Hendrix here watching over us as we do it. We've got a C chord, and we use our 3rd finger on the 5th fret. It slides up to the 7th fret, and our 1st finger does the 3 strings, the notes basically that our little finger was doing before of part of that chord, okay? So if you're doing C that way, you're doing those 3 notes end up being replaced by the 1st finger, and it ends up like this, if I'm doing it that way. Slide that 3rd finger from the 5th fret, 2 frets away, and then place that 1st finger. You can either place it down or you can leave that chord like that. It's a very Hendrixy thing. You might hear that sort of stuff. That sort of stuff you'll hear all the time, which is Castles Made of Sand. So it uses that sort of sound, which is very Hendrixy. So we've got a G, 7, C, and what I'm doing is going the first part of the pattern, and then I'm just sliding that note up and 2 downstrokes. Okay? It's pretty simple. So that's part of the C chord. Now with D, you can do exactly the same thing if you want to. Exactly the same thing, but just 2 frets higher because we're in D. And then back to the G7 again. You could do that. That's one version of it. And I don't do it the same every time. It's totally different. It's just how I feel at the time. We could do the G7, then a C, just as we did it. Now what I like to do with the D, instead of doing that version, I put my 1st finger straight away on the back part of that D, so in this case it's on the 7th fret, flattened over those 3 strings. It's more than 3 strings, but you get the idea. And I hammer on an A minor 7 shape with my other 2 fingers, which gives us basically like an E minor 7 thing. I'll show what the notes are for that. So you've got 1st finger's flat on the 7th fret, and then I hammer on to this shape, which is 9, if this is going from the 4th string, 9, 7, 8, and sometimes if you want to, you can get the bottom note out 7 as well, but it's basically those 3 strings. Okay, you can hammer on, or you can just play. You don't have to hammer on, you can muck around with that quite a lot, okay? So it's from a D shape, and we're going, or something like that. It's very similar if you've ever done not long train running. Listen to the music. That sort of thing there. I'm just doing that idea, but down there on the 9th fret, 7th and 9th fret. That's all it is. So back over that again. So you've got lots going on with that D chord. There's an version of it. I pull off at the end. That's how I'm doing it. But you don't have to do that. You can do what you want. We can make it just strum. So. So I'm just using the same thing, but I'm doing a D chord, 1st finger on, and I'm bringing those 2 fingers off and on together. Okay, it's really important. But just make sure when you're strumming that, you're strumming those strings. Okay, it's all about that. Otherwise it'll sound terrible. You've got to focus in on just those 3 notes. So there's pretty much like a good foundation for you to make that song sound cool. Some other stuff there, but we won't do that just yet. But you get the idea with the chords, okay? So when I'm actually singing the song, I pulled into Nashville, Tennessee.
even come to see me. So you might not even do that little nuance thing, because it sounds cool, just enough as that. But the next time around I might do it. Said you're heading up to Carolina, I know I'm gonna be right here behind you. See, there's lots going on in there. I'm singing at the same time, but you can just experiment the way you want to, and there's some cool ideas. You might not want to do the C. You might do the C that way. You might do the D exactly the same way. I'll do it this time. Mama, was it always have to steal my kisses from you? Always have to steal my kisses from you. See the idea there? So it makes it more interesting. And you can just do the basic chords. There's enough going on with the strum, so there's a lot going on there. But I like it when I'm just doing nothing but guitar, just to make it a bit more tricky and flashy and interesting for the listener. So there's some ideas for those 3 chords that you can apply. Now that's all I'm going to show you for that bit, because there's some other cool things we can do for the next section of the song. But I think that's enough for now, because you've got a lot on your plate, especially with that right hand strumming pattern. And if you are struggling with that, I totally get it. I understand. Most people do at the beginning. Take the pressure off, just keep going, keep going, keep going, and eventually that'll come out and sound really awesome. If not, take a step back, just the basic version of the strum, and just enjoy it. Just have fun. That's the most important thing. So if you enjoyed this lesson, I hope you did, please subscribe and become one of the Mark the Guitar Guy fan members. And if you want to let me know in the comments below what's going on. And I'm looking forward to seeing you guys again very soon for another one of these. We'll see you soon.